Hi, guys. I'm waiting to see if one of my friends wants to join my live or something. I don't have very much going on. I'm procrastinating on finals. Hi, Kens. Hi, Hadley. Virgos rock. Okay, we're getting into astrology. My boyfriend's a Virgo, so I agree. It's 12:30 in the morning. What the heck? Hi, Armin. So what the heck is a moon sign? A moon sign, as far as I understand it, is like, it's the sign that rules your emotions. I'm a Cancer too. If anyone's curious, anyone knows anything about astrology, I'm a Cancer, Sun, Taurus moon, and Scorpio rising. I just finished crying. That's why I'm like sniffling. It's finals is tough, man. I'm tired today. My birthday is June 28th. Yeah, my mom, my dad, and I, all three of us are Cancers. So, a lot of crying. A lot of emotion. That's what Cancer means, basically. Oh, yeah. Dara and Kenza, my college people. They're in here, they get it. My major is media studies, and psychology, which is obviously very fitting to what I'm doing. Mind wide open. I think it's super fascinating. I was a sociology major, for a little while, and then I realized I'd taken all the interesting classes that I was going to take, and there wasn't really any interesting soc classes left, just for me personally, because the rest of them were like, quantitative theory and stuff like that it's not, my brain doesn't really work that way. So media studies felt a little bit more relevant to me. I like that everyone's telling me about their signs. Okay. Virgo, Sun, Pisces, Moon, Cancer, Rising. We'd probably get along really well. Oh, happy birthday! Happy birthday, Zoe! Sagittarius Queen. Thank you to everyone saying nice things about the show. It was so much fun. It was so much fun to be a part of. Yeah, it was amazing. I think that Jason Koenig directed it, and I think he encapsulated like the feeling of the Seattle scene and the feeling of the 90s and how strong of a community it was and still is. I feel like he encapsulated that really well. So that was super cool. I just thought it was so beautiful, so well done. And my mom's been working so hard on that. My mom's been working on that for like, it's been in the works for like a year and a half. I don't know if I was supposed to say that, but I think it's fine. Dude, yeah, no, my mom's been working tirelessly on that for the last 6 months, but it's been in the works for a year and a half, and just was so amazing to see it come to fruition. Liv, I hope Liv has many new fans. Thank you, Sarah. There's a lot of Aquarius people in here. I don't have a great track record with Aquarius, unfortunately. Because I think romantically, Cancer and Aquarius is not a great pair, because Aquarius is very non-committal, and I don't do well with that. I don't do well with that. Do you think cusps are a real thing? I don't know. I don't really understand it. My grandma, for those who don't know, is an astrologer, and a numerologist. And she's a cusp, and she talks a lot about that, how like if you're a cusp, the sign that you're not still influences your personality a lot. Yeah, I don't know how my mom does it. You'd think I'd know, but I truly don't. Hi, Fran. Oh, I miss you. I paused it. Aquarians do like to be different. There's a difference between an Aquarius and an unevolved Aquarius. And let's just say I have some experience with an unevolved Aquarius. This is my wallpaper in my bedroom. Virgo Libra cusp, aka nightmare. I think that like the idea that some signs are like bad, like everyone's like, oh, like Geminis are horrible, Scorpios are horrible. I think that's such a myth. But I do definitely like, because I've had the opportunity to like learn so much about the science behind it, and like the reasons why like it makes sense, like in terms of astronomy and science. Like I do think the thing about like how it influences your traits and stuff is super. Callan, fuck you. Are you trying to like lower my damn self-esteem? Yeah, you're horrible, Callan. You're a horrible Scorpio. I'm kidding, I love you. No, God, I wish it was a celebration of finishing studying for finals. I'm like right in the middle of it. Never met a water sign that isn't uber emotional. I literally was crying right before I went on this live. So just call me out. And the episode of, I have a little glitter in my hair. The episode of Mind Wide Open that I just put out with Brittany Snow and Jasper Guest. Brittany was talking about talking about astrology with her husband, who's a surfer, and he was saying like, you know, how the moon influences the tides and how much power the moon has over the water. And she was saying like, we're 70% water, like wouldn't it make sense if the moon influenced us in some way? So I think that makes sense. Hi, Dar. Why are you crying? I don't even know. I'm you know. What is unevolved versus evolved? From what I know about like evolved versus unevolved in astrology, like if you're an unevolved like Scorpio or unevolved Cancer or something, it means like you tend toward more of the negative traits. So like an unevolved Cancer was like highly manipulative or like very I don't know, like very clingy, very needy. But if you're like an evolved Cancer, you've moved past those like traits. My mom and dad are Cancers. And me. I think it'd be fun to have my grandma on my podcast and have her talk about astrology, numerology, because it is something that's like been a big impact on my mental health. Just in the sense, like I think of it in the same sense as like religion. People look to religion to answer the unknown questions, you know, and to give them some sort of guidebook for how to walk through life. And that's how I view astrology anyway. It's just been helpful for me as like a learning tool and like a a lens through which to view the world and understand other people. What are the negative aspects of Aquarius? I said this earlier. I don't feel like there are like any signs are inherently bad or inherently good. But the bad experiences I've had with Aquarians personally is very like non-committal and very wishy-washy, like can't make up their minds. And oftentimes, unfortunately, that makes other people's emotions collateral damage. Hi Paris! My rising and moon. I'm a Cancer sun, Taurus moon, Scorpio rising. But I'm also Cancer Mars, Cancer Venus, and Cancer Mercury. Passive aggression, that's true. I've heard that Scorpio risings. Hi, I'm on an Instagram live.
Oh, hi.
Do you want to say hi?
What are you talking about?
I was supposed to be in bed, probably. Astrology. I just said let's talk about astrology, so we're talking about astrology.
Okay.
Susan's here, folks.
When you're done.
Call you? Why? Can you just come upstairs?
Come and see me.
Okay, I'll just come upstairs. My mom's a Cancer too. Do you know your moon and rising sign, Mom? Paris, what's your moon and rising? Because I know you're a Leo. You're definitely a Leo. What's your moon and do you know?
Moon in Leo, Virgo rising.
I didn't know you were moon and Leo.
Ooh, there you go.
Huh. That's so surprising to me. Virgo rising makes sense. You're very organized.
Sort of organized. But yeah, the moon in Leo is more personality, which doesn't...
Yeah. Well, no, moon is like your emotions, I think. And that doesn't really... Yeah. That doesn't make sense for you. We'll talk to Grams about it.
Okay.
Leo, Libra rising, Scorpio moon. See, Paris, I feel like that's where you get your mystical like quality, because that's what I've always heard about like Scorpio moon, Scorpio rising. Some Scorpio rising, if people say like it makes like a mystical quality that people are just drawn to you. And Beyonce. Yeah, that makes total sense. Scorpio rising elite. Jack is my Scorpio rising BFF. Katil, you're just a Libra. Like that's like your sun sign. I like that. Cassidy. Yeah, no, my grandma's readings are fucking crazy. They're so accurate. Yeah, if you want to know your I use Astro Charts. That's a super good website. You just put in your birthday and the time you're born, location you're born, and it gives you everything. To a secretive Pisces. How was the full moon for you? The full moon was bad. The full moon was bad. For me, personally. I had a crazy thing happen. I don't know if there's any neurologists in the chat that could help me with this, but hi Danny, how about the pattern? The pattern, I think my grandma proved it, and she's an astrologer, so I think the pattern's good. The pattern's a lot better than CoStar. Yes, I would recommend the pattern personally. No, okay, the full moon for me, I'll tell the story very quickly. I had a dream that I had a concussion. I had a dream. Okay, there's a psychologist here. Thank you. I need you to tell me what was happening. I had a dream that I had hit the back of my head and I had a concussion. And it was hurt. In my dream, I was like passing out. It hurt super, super bad. And my friend Daniel was driving me to the hospital. And then I woke up and realized like the pain in the back of my head was real. And it hurt so bad. It hurt so bad. And I rolled over and then it started tingling like in like the left back part of my brain. Like the blood was rushing back to it, like it happens like if part of your body falls asleep, like the blood was rushing back in. And then I got up to get like my phone charger, came back in my room. All of a sudden, gnarliest panic attack I've ever had. Body like flooded with heat. My skin felt like it was on fire. Like my heart was beating like crazy. But it wasn't like a panic attack where I was like, oh, I'm having a panic attack. Like I'm aware of it. It was like, I need to go to the hospital. Made my mom call 911. The paramedics came. Like I don't even remember. Like I had blacked out. It was like so gnarly. It was so crazy. But they said that it was probably had something to do with my vagus nerve. Like that it was the way that I was sleeping, like was blocking off like the circulation to my vagus nerve, and that I don't know. I'm kidding. This is way too much information. This is way too much information. If there's anyone in here that can tell me about like vagus nerve and if the circulation, I'm like such a hypochondriac. But it was so gnarly. It was so scary. It was so scary. Okay, someone had something similar. Pinched nerve. That makes sense. Sorry. Jack, I'm saying so much shit that I shouldn't be saying. Callan. Whatever happens in the vagus nerve stays in the vagus nerve. My favorite nerve. I'm so glad. There's so many Vegas nerve fans. But okay, I have a panic disorder and I've had many, many panic attacks. And that was some body shit. That wasn't just like me being worried and having a panic attack. That was like something was wrong in my brain chemicals. Like my skin, I kept saying to my mom, like my skin is on fire. Everyone loves the vagus nerve. We're doing so much for the vagus nerve community tonight. I'm looking through questions now. Okay, now everyone's giving me good anxiety like stories. This is really good. Underrated nerve. Oh my gosh. No, okay, maybe this is gonna make me more anxious. Maybe I don't want to read these stories. Is anyone in here that I'm friends with? Oh, Kenza is still here. I want to know more about your guys' astrological signs. Okay. Thanks, Callan. Kenza, you were supposed to be asleep at 10:30, according to your health plan. So you're not doing great. I don't judge you though. I'm still awake too. Wait, I have the same health plan. Never mind. I'm an Aquarius and I don't wish it on anybody. You're proving my point. My Mars is in Scorpio, so I'm a proven psychopath. That's my grandma, astrologist extraordinaire, says the scariest sign to have your Mars in, Scorpio. Those people are the deadliest. Those people are scary, scary. I'm a Cancer, Taurus moon, Scorpio rising. Oh, Cancer born on June 29th, 2000. That was one day after me. I'm only one day older than you. My Mars is in Taurus. I live in constant. That's not funny. I'm sorry. It's not funny. But my Mars is in Cancer, and I get it. I'm the same way. I'm in constant emotional pain. The name of the astrology website that I like to find your chart is called Astro Charts. And then the good app, I think, is the Pattern. Yes, my grandma did used to call into KSW. She would read people's charts. You can figure out your Mars, Venus, Mercury by going on Astro Charts and just putting in your birthday, time you were born, where you were born. Oh my god. Scorpio Sun, Sag Rising, Gemini Moon. That's scary. Oh, Jack. Yeah, Libra and Venus is very independent. June 20th, 2000, yay. Love you, Astro Queen. My Mars is in Virgo, and I have no idea what that means. TBH, I don't either. Mars is like your planet of sex and aggression, so it's usually how you fight. And I could see that being like, you'd probably be scary to fight with, because you're like, you lay out all the shit that people have done, like you come with receipts, you know what I mean? Scorpio Sun and Moon. That's why you're a pained artist, Callan. At Ryan. Favorite planet? I took an astronomy class last semester, and Jupiter was really fun to learn about. I don't know if that means anything to you. What classes are you taking? This is like sorting Pokemon. I like that. I said this earlier, but like for me, it's just like a way to look at the world. You know, it's a way to understand the world and understand other people, and that's why I don't feel like it's any dissimilar from any other. It's not dissimilar from any other belief system, you know, like religion or whatever. And Ryan and Kenza starting a beautiful friendship. I love that. Birthday twins. July 17, Cancer. That's my mom's birthday. Mars and Pisces. I'm gonna guess you cry every time you fight with somebody. That's my guess. Tell me if it's true. Are all Cancers anxious and emotional? I don't know about all of them. But this one sure is. Taurus with 3 words. Stubborn. Strong. A little lazy. Yes. If you go to Astro Charts, it's going to give you a shit ton of information, but you can Google that stuff. Yeah, okay. That's what I thought. You cry every time you fight with somebody. That was my guess. Callan, get out of here. Do you find yourself being friends with one particular sign more than the others? It's interesting because I didn't really think about that until my mom or my grandma was talking to me about that, and I was realizing like I don't have very many Libra friends. I have a lot of Scorpio friends, a lot of Virgo friends, a lot of Taurus friends. I have a lot of Taurus friends. Co-star is kind of fun, but I don't think it used to be more accurate than it is. I would recommend the Pattern now. Taurus and Cancer is typically a pretty good mix, but sometimes Taurus can, like, be so hard-headed they don't get, like, the emotional stuff, you know what I mean? My only Libra friend is Harper Moon. Yeah, I don't know. Thank you for everyone saying nice things about the show last night. It was super fun. I had an amazing time. It felt super, super special to be a part of it. Do you think you fit what your sign is generally described as? Yeah. Big time. Big time, big time. Cancer's, like, very emotional, very intuitive, very sensitive. See? Mars in Pisces. Mars in Pisces. It'll be the same thing if your Mars is in Cancer. You're just gonna cry. Every time you fight with somebody. Cry, 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 cry. I like all the Virgos in here. My boyfriend's a Virgo, his roommate's a Virgo, and his best friend is a Virgo. So I've had so many Virgos in my life, and I love it. I love them. What does it mean to have a moon in Cancer? The moon is your planet, the planet that rules your emotions. So you're likely very emotional, to be honest, very sensitive, maybe a little crazy. Not in, like, a derogatory way, but in, like, you just get, like, wow, like, super overwhelmed. That's how I get. I have really good friends that are Leos. My grandma's a Leo. In my opinion, they have very strong personalities, and they like to be the center of attention a little bit because they're fun. Like, they're interesting. Like, they're the kind of people that, like, when they're talking, like, everyone wants to listen to them because they're so entertaining. What's your rising? Scorpio rising. Gia wants to talk about it. If you're born on a leap year, do you age at a reduced rate? Yes. As the person who invented astrology, which is me, you age at 1/4 of the speed. What albums are you listening to? Celeste put out an EP called Lately. There's only 4 songs. It's Celeste, and that's what I've been listening to over and over and over and over and over again. She's beautiful. She's from the UK. My most recent Mind Wide Open, we talked about astrology a little bit. Hi, Gray. Oh my gosh. I love you. I love Queen. Queen's one of my all-time favorite bands. I like Greta Van Fleet a lot. Gregor, we're talking about astrology. Tell us your chart. Tell us your signs. Celeste, yes, she's so good. She's so amazing. I gravitate towards people with voices like that, like her, Amber Mark, Leanne LaHavas. Oh my god. She's fucking incredible. I gravitate really strongly towards especially female voices like that have, like, the kind of elongated vibrato. So insane. Gregor, are you a Taurus? My Venus placement is in Cancer. That's why I'm such a little love bug. I like Paramore a lot. I haven't listened to System of a Down a ton. You're an Aries. Oh, I knew that. Fiery redhead. Right. I agree with you. Crystal. The general population sees Catholicism as normal, but astrology is absurd. It's all the same shit. It's all the same shit with different names. What was your favorite cover from last night besides yours? Dallas Green brought the fucking house down. I love City in Color. He's fucking amazing. Liv Warfield, another powerhouse. I aspire to be anything like her. I haven't listened to that much Mazzy Star in my life, but it's funny because I get compared to her pretty often, which is like a huge compliment, but people say that like I have a similar vibe when I sing and perform. Bye, Gray. Love you. I'm supposed to be doing that right now. I'm not doing it. Yeah, I think Dallas did Rain When I Die. Who did we go see, Cal? Oh, Liv Warfield, yeah. That was so fun. Fishbone was crazy. Fishbone was really good. That was rad. That was really fun. The woman who sang with Kim was fucking insane. I'd never met her or heard of her, but that was the kind of performance where when it came on, everyone stopped talking. Everyone was like, whoa. My major in college is media studies and psychology. And it's super interesting and super relevant to what I'm doing with Mind Wide Open. I love studying media studies. I'm focusing on film. And it's just like the most interesting. Like I've loved studying it. Callan, I would say that means your cat needs to be fed. I think that's what that means. Why are you saying sorry, Callan? You're studying finance. I'm friends with a lot of people that are studying finance, and it seems like a very rough existence. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I don't know what just happened. My favorite film, I think, is A Woman is a Woman. Oh, damn. That's exactly what I'm studying, girl. DM me. Let's help each other with our papers. Contemporary media studies and your dissertation's based on psychological effects of social media. That's huge. Whoa, that's crazy. Actually, DM me, because I feel like we have a lot we could talk about. Favorite negative astrological trait from my sun sign? That's a good question. My sun sign is a Cancer. My favorite negative trait is probably, I don't know. I mean, the number one trait that I that's negative that I've identified with is manipulation, and I didn't like realize I was doing it. But my mom when I was little was always like, you should be a lawyer, and I was like, oh, that means I'm smart. And then when I got older I was like, whoa, that means I can like manipulate people pretty well. But not in like a psycho way, not in like a bad way, but more in just like I can be very emotional, and that freaks people out sometimes. Hi Jake, I love you. Favorite Alice in Chains songs: Got Me Wrong, No Excuses, Black Gives Way to Blue for sure. I don't know, there's so many, dude. I grew up listening to all that shit, obviously, but like it was so funny because I never really listened to the recorded Alice in Chains until I got older, because I had only ever heard the songs live, so like I didn't know what they were saying because I'd heard the songs live hundreds and hundreds of times, but I'd never heard the recorded versions, so it took a while for me to understand what they were saying. Is your refrigerator running, Isaac? I miss you. You're a Gemini. No, yeah, Isaac's a Gemini. Pearl Jam, Yellow Ledbetter, Daughter is always like my favorite. I don't know. It's hard. I'm not thinking on my feet right now. I've been studying all day and my head's a little out of it. I just watched Blade Runner in my media studies class this semester. That's funny. I like that. I do like Jeremy. Temple of the Dog, Call Me a Dog is insane. Like one of my favorite songs ever. That whole album, I listen to that album a lot, honestly. Okay, well that's good to know why I'm having such a hard time. Our suns are opposing transit Saturn. There's some Guns N' Roses songs I really like. I was on tour with them in 2016 when Alice opened for them. And it was really, really fun. It was really fun. They're so fun to watch live. I try to play guitar. I'm not very good. I grew up playing piano. I'm classically trained in piano. So my fingers don't bend that way. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard. I'm still training myself, and I need to get my calluses back. Thank you guys for watching Mind Wide Open. It truly means so much to me. Like, it means so much to me when people watch it and, like, have shit to say about it. Like, I you know, because I feel like there was an uptick in it when I first put it out, because everyone's like, whoa, like crazy new thing, and now not as many people watch it, but the people that do watch it really seem to get stuff out of it. So if you're watching and getting anything out of it, that makes me very happy. Thank you. Most likely astrological sign to be a serial killer, and why from your perspective? I don't know from my perspective, but the statistics say Pisces, which is, I don't know that. Actually, no, I do. I was gonna say I don't really know any Pisces that would fit with, but I feel like they're very meticulous and they also feel very deeply, which is kind of like a wicked combination. And what else was I about to say? Oh, Virgo is another one that I think statistically is likely to be a serial killer, and my boyfriend's a Virgo, and I second that. Because it's very, like, They're very intense. Does Susan act like a Cancer? Yes. My mom and I both cry 1,000% of the time. That was super hyperbolic, but you know what I mean. Do you have a favorite soundtrack? One of my favorite soundtracks is the soundtrack Ezra Furman did for that TV show Sex Education. I still listen to that all the time. Ezra Furman, Sex Education soundtrack. I would highly recommend. Jeff Buckley. Grace is one of my top 5 albums for sure. Can you guys hear me? Oh, thank you guys so much for the nice words about Mind Wide Open. I don't have that many friends that are Libras, which is weird, besides Harper, and she's very decisive. So, I don't know. Into the Wild is a phenomenal soundtrack. I love that song. I listen to Society a lot. That's so funny that you'd say that. Someone said, is the use of the dream song annoying? It's funny because my boyfriend would be like, oh my god, this is that song from TikTok. I'm like, it makes me so mad. I'm like, I did not grow up on that song for you to say it's from TikTok. No. I like Cancers a lot because I'm super biased. I like Virgos a lot. I like Pisces a lot. My best friend's a Pisces. There's so many people I would go out of my way to see. So many. Ukulele I can play. Eddie gave me my first ukulele. But that's even that. Like, my hands don't bend that way. My hobbies other than music, I really like photography. I got a Super 8 camera recently, so I've been getting more into like film videography. What does it mean if your Mars is in Cancer? I'm gonna guess you cry every time you fight with somebody. Or you get really mad, and then you start crying. Like, you can't stay mad without crying. That's my guess about you. I don't remember the first time I went on tour. I must have been little, to be honest. But I missed a hell of a lot of school, that's for sure. But I'm doing great. 4.0 this semester. Don't get it twisted. Stereotype of Scorpios is that they're fucking crazy. And I'm Scorpio rising, so I can attest to that a little bit. But what's your Spotify 2020 rap stats? I don't use Spotify, I use Apple Music. Ooh. But my number one most listened artist this year was Daniel Caesar, which is like not, I wasn't expecting that. Bye Zoe, happy birthday. I hope you have a great birthday. One time Daniel Caesar and I made prolonged eye contact at the Grammys, and I've never forgotten it. I think about that like at least once a week. Because, like, I was like, wow. Someone send this to Daniel Caesar. Fun cartoon to suggest on Netflix. I watch Big Mouth a lot, but don't watch it with your children. Jason. Hi, Jason. We're talking all about how fantastic the show was last night. Jason made that happen. Him and my mom. We're also talking about astrology. Brickleberry's good. I like Brickleberry. Which sign is most likely to dissociate? I'm going to say Cancer, because I dissociate all the fucking time. That's actually so interesting. Someone said, have you ever gone through periods where you had to avoid certain things because it triggered panic attacks, like driving? When I first started college, moved to LA, and I got gnarly driving anxiety. I couldn't drive, and that had never happened to me before. But I think when your anxiety is super, super heightened, like, you're gonna want to avoid anything that will possibly trigger it. So there was nothing that was about driving specifically that was bad, but it was more the feeling of, like, I felt like I was not always in control, and so driving while I didn't feel like I was in control was a scary experience. What's your experience with Sagittarius? I have a few friends that are Sagittarius. Some of my best friends are Sagittarius, but it's, like, always a fun, like, it's always super fun. I always have so much fun with them, but we don't always relate on, like, an emotional level, if that makes sense. Hi, Abai. I've never gotten into a car accident in LA, knock on wood. That wasn't why. It wasn't because I was in LA that I had driving anxiety. It was because I was so anxious and so dissociative that when I would drive, I would feel like I would forget, like, stretches of time. I would be like, wait, I don't remember if I stopped at that light. I don't remember anything. For me personally, EMDR has been very effective, because the thing about EMDR is it tackles, like, it rewires your brain in a way to tackle trauma that talk therapy can't do. So the most effective form of therapy for me ever has been talk therapy in conjunction, taken simultaneously with EMDR, because I was able to talk about things. But there are certain things, like, especially if I have PTSD, there are certain things you can't really, like, your brain has to be rewired at a certain point to help you cope with trauma, and EMDR isn't the only way to do that, but that is something that really, really helped me. Seattle's the best. I would highly recommend anyone to live here, unless you have seasonal depression. Yeah, and I mean, I'm not gonna say, like, EMDR would work for everybody, because some people I know that it's triggered them in a way that was bad because they weren't ready for it. But for me, it was at the point where I'd kind of talk therapied myself into a hole, and EMDR was a way for me to process my trauma without having to do it verbally. And sometimes that can be more helpful. Yes, I totally will. I'm gonna hopefully have an EMDR person on in the next season. I think EMDR was developed specifically for trauma, but I would do more research because I don't, you know, I'm obviously not an expert, but oh my god, amazing. Monique's incredible. I reached out, I just DM'd her on Instagram to see if she wanted to be on the show, not even expecting a response, and she's so amazing. And her work about like grief in the body, because that's another thing, is I you know, I had to do things that moved beyond talk therapy, and doing some of Monique's classes about, you know, grief yoga and grief in the body and moving it through without having to process things verbally helped me so much. I'm so glad you guys get stuff out of Mind Wide Open. That makes me so happy. You guys are so funny. Everyone's talking about Capricorn. Jason, I hope you're reading all the comments about everyone that loved the show last night. I love Tierra Whack. Such a fan. Yeah, people are talking about music therapy. That's beautiful. The best advice I've ever gotten. That's a good question. I'm not trying to name drop right now. I know it's totally going to sound like I am about to name drop, but something that somebody said to me that I think about literally every day, and that has helped me get through lost relationships and like the gnarliest breakup ever that I'd ever been through, is I was with Laura Dern, and I say her name because I want everyone to know how amazing she is, and she's literally like one of the most amazing people I've ever met. She's like a mother to me, and she just has like the most beautiful heart. But it was like 5 days after a breakup. I was in that relationship for like 2 years, and I was so heartbroken. I was so devastated. We're at a Lana Del Rey concert, and which is already emotional. Like, I'm already like sobbing the whole time. And I was talking to her about the breakup, and she said to me, I want to say to you, congratulations. She was like, I honor your pain, and I honor that you're hurting, and I want to say to you, congratulations, because now somebody is no longer in your life that doesn't deserve to be there, and now you can move forward, and I'm celebrating for you the fact that someone has left your life that wasn't meant to be there anymore. So that's like, I think about that all the time. I think about that all the time. Germ. I see you're in here, Germ. Hi, Germ. Yeah, Lana is a Cancer. They're like, how much do you want me to fucking cry? Yeah, as a Cancer, I struggle with the passive aggression. Because sometimes I can get so emotional that I can just shut down, and I'm not trying to be passive aggressive, but it can just be like I can't communicate my feelings anymore because I'm just like so frustrated. So I do my best to communicate that. Freddie Mercury. God. I look up to him so much. Portland's better than Seattle. Okay, we're trying to start beef in the chat. No beef in the chat. Germ left. He didn't even hear me. EMDR treatment, for me, the way I did it, I think there's different ways you can do it, but I held like a little machine in my hand with one like clicker in the right hand and one clicker in the left, and I would have to think about a traumatic experience that I had, Like, I talk about it with the therapist beforehand, talk about, like, the traumatic experience, and then just hold, literally all I did was sit there, hold the clickers, and it would buzz right, left, right, left, right, left. Like, that's all I did. I would just sit there, think about the event, and over time, like, the events don't hold the same weight anymore. Like, it helped me get over my driving anxiety. It helped me a lot with my dissociation, because it's processing your trauma subconsciously instead of, like, consciously trying to verbally talk your trauma out, because usually that's not quite as effective. But it has helped me so much personally. I can't speak to anyone else's experience, but yeah, it's helped me so much. I do like Portland, but I mean, are we gonna compare? It's a dangerous game to play. I have done DBT. If you're interested in that, I would watch the episode of Mind Wide Open that I did with Ursula Whiteside, who's like a DBT specialist, and she studied with the woman Marshall Linehan, who like invented DBT, and that's been super helpful to me. Hi, Olivia Wise, sweet girl, I miss you. Seattle is very expensive these days because of Amazon. I do like Paris a lot, but I found it very hard to make friends there. How do you cope with the loss of your loved ones? The thing for me, I think Ursula said this in the episode we did, that's like, how long are you going to be grieving? Well, how long are they going to be dead? You know what I mean? Like, you never stop grieving, but you integrate it, and it's not as raw anymore. And, like, finding meaning has always been the thing that's helped me cope, is, like, finding meaning in my own pain. Not finding meaning in the loss necessarily, but, like, finding meaning in my own pain and how I can share that with others to help in any way. DBT helped your daughter? That makes me so happy. That's so good. It's funny, I had a way easier time making friends in London than in Paris. But also, like, my French is horrible, so. Hi, Velvet, Coke, Velvy. My zodiac is Cancer, Cancer Sun, Taurus Moon, Scorpio Rising. A lot of emotion. Olivia did DBT too, that's amazing. Cancers as a couple are good, I think, if they're, like, evolved cancers, if they've moved, like, if they're not manipulative, and they're not super passive-aggressive, because that's something, like, cancers can fall into that trap very easily, so if they're both like that, crazy. Captured by David Kessler, so amazing. David Kessler is incredible. I would highly recommend if you struggle with grief at all. I would highly recommend reading The Sixth Stage of Grief, Finding Meaning, Making Meaning. Incredible book. That's helped me a lot. Virgo Sun, Cancer Moon. Cancer Moon, see, that's why we get along. Cancers and Virgos are supposed to be super compatible. Why is everyone asking if I'm Jewish? I think so. I don't even know. Ethnically, yes, but I was not raised in a denomination, in a religious denomination. Best match for Cancer, I think Virgo's really good. I think Taurus is good. Other Cancers are good. Even Scorpios are good. Scorpios are just like, whoa. Like, Scorpios, I find myself very drawn to Scorpios because they have such, like, a mystical energy. My most dominant passive-aggressive pattern is saying that I'm okay when I'm not, and then stewing on things for a really long time, which I'm working on. Cancer, Sun, Scorpio rising. Wow. Scorpio and Virgo being a couple. I think that could be good. I think it could be good. I don't know. What's your least favorite sign, though? Let's fight. Aquarius, but only because I know some, like, really fucking cool Aquarius people, but I've just had such bad experiences with, like, me being used as collateral damage because they can't figure out their own emotions. You know what I mean? I love Scorpios. Okay, I'm caught up. I'm not saying Aquarius people are bad. One of my best friends in the whole world, Mr. Royce, if you're in here, is an Aquarius. But, like, I just have had some super gnarly experiences with Aquarius people who, like, can't figure out their own emotions. And so they end up, like, just hurting other people and then being like, well, it's because I couldn't figure out how I was feeling. You know what I mean? Someone you'd love to talk to on your podcast. Brene Brown. She's like I've read so much of her stuff on empathy, so much of her stuff on grief, and she's one of my dream people to have on my podcast because I've learned so much. I've learned so much from her. My best friend is a Pisces, and I think she's amazing. She describes being a Pisces as being from another planet with an Earth suit on. And I think that's really, really cute. But I think that's a sweet way to describe being a Pisces. If there are any Pisces in here, tell me if you feel the same. Aquarius and Pisces, interesting. My sister's an Aquarius and I'm a Cancer. Yeah, like very opposite. That's the thing about like my experience with Aquarius. Even my like the people that are Aquarius I haven't gotten along with, and the people that are Aquarius that I love, like we have very different worldviews, and not like politically or anything like that. Like we just like the way that we approach the world and the way that we are in the world is like it just does not connect on any level. How do you cope with friends not understanding your circumstances? I've definitely had to deal with that a lot. And the thing for me that you can't force anybody to understand you. Some people are going to understand you better than others, you know? But the thing for me that has helped me the most is like communication. Even if that's straight up saying like, I don't really feel like you're understanding me right now. I'm going to try to explain it more in detail. Like, do you have the capacity to listen to that right now? And that's something that's helped me so much, is instead of just being like, oh, like they don't understand me, I'm just gonna like shut myself off and like listen to Mother Love Bone in my room. Like I'm like gonna talk to them and be like, this is how I'm feeling right now. Like, are you open to having a conversation about this? You know what I mean? And that's the other thing about Aquarius is like, because I'm so emotional, so many of my planets are in Cancer. Like, in my relationship with an Aquarius, it was like, got to the point where he was like, I'm tired of you like being so emotional. Like that was the Aquarius saying like, everything's fine. Or the like, this is what it is. I'll tell you exactly what it is. This is what my grandma always says. Aquarians have an innate ability to detach from their emotions in a way. Am I back? Okay. The ability to compartmentalize emotions is something that I don't have, and most of the people that I know that are Aquarians do have. And that's been my issue. And even, actually, no, that's been my issue with everyone I know that's an Aquarius, to be honest, is the ability to, like, compartmentalize emotions and not feel them deeply. I can't conceptualize. Like, it just doesn't, I can't do that. I wish I could. As a Cancer, why am I so drawn to Aquarius? I think in my experience, like, Aquarians have a very, very unique way of thinking, and they're usually, like, really interesting and, like, really, like, quirky. Yeah. I forget what I was saying. But that's, like, why I've been drawn to Aquarians, like, my whole life, because they're super interesting, but we just can't, like, a lot of the time aren't compatible on an emotional level. I got into astrology because my grandma's an astrologist, and and also a numerologist, so she's the one who taught me all about it. And it's also, like, it depends on, like, if you're an Aquarius, but, like, your moon is, like, a Cancer, or your moon's in Pisces or something, like, you might be more emotional. That's just... Scorpio's the best. I do know. Scorpios are very, like, you just draw people in. Uh-oh, Callan and Juno in the same room. I'm a Taurus moon. I like Tauruses. Most of my best friends are Tauruses. They can just be a little stuck in their ways. I don't think my grandma reads palms. Really bad emotionally abusive relationship with a Cancer. It's basically my whole perception of Cancers. That I believe. Because Cancers can be very, very manipulative. I have a lot of friends that are Geminis too. But all, like, the inconsistency can be tough. My dad's a Taurus and he's weird. That might not be because he's a Taurus, he might just be weird. Oh, yay! First therapy appointment tomorrow. Let's all send good energy to this person that has their first therapy appointment tomorrow. If it doesn't feel good, don't, like, let that put you off therapy, and don't let that freak you out. Because especially the first therapy appointment can be overwhelming. I'm not saying it's going to be, but it can be. So don't be like, oh my god, like, therapy's horrible, because it's, like, having to, like, try to explain to a person you've never met, like, your whole life story and, like, your deepest emotions. It's not an easy thing. So first of all, I commend you, and I'm super proud of you and super happy for you that you're going to therapy. But also, like, if it doesn't, there's, like, can be this thing that, like, oh, therapy's the best thing in the world, which is, like, it can be super helpful and super amazing, but it doesn't always feel good, you know? So don't be put off by that. There's also some really good free online therapy alternatives. I don't have any names off the top of my head, but BetterHelp, I think, is a good one. Don't lie to your therapist. That's another very good one, Callan. Thank you. Doesn't help anybody. Exercise. Yes, sir. My mom's a Cancer too. My mom's a Cancer. I'm a Cancer. My dad's a Cancer. My life path number. Ooh, someone knows numerology. Do you think... I think I'm getting forehead wrinkles. I'm only 20. This is freaking me out. 9. My life path number is a 9. For the person who asked. Literally the only person I know in here is Juno. Juno, save me. Okay, wait. Someone said that I should put my shit in the chat. I'm putting it in the chat. Let's talk about astrology. I'm Cancer Sun, Taurus Moon, Scorpio rising, fishing, rising. How do I pin this shit? Pin comment. There we go. Would you say that if your mom, dad, and yourself are all Cancers, you'll have similar personalities? I would say that we all feel very deeply and are very sensitive. Very, very, very sensitive. Your therapist isn't going to judge you. So true. Okay, this is a sweet little story. One of my best friends in the whole world, named Michaela, who's a Gemini. I was on the phone with her yesterday, and she was like, I'm going to therapy in a couple minutes, but I don't know, I've just felt really bad in therapy, like talking about my anxiety and talking about my problems, because my therapist probably has anxiety too. And my therapist probably like is anxious, and everyone has anxiety, so I feel bad talking about my own problems because I'm not the only one suffering. And that was like the sweetest thing ever, and part of why I love her so much. But also, like, you have to honor your own feelings, and you also don't lie to your therapist. Your therapist has their own therapist. You know what I mean? They can handle it. They're professional. My grandma's a Leo. Virgo, Cancer Sun, Virgo rising. I like that. My social worker had really bad anxiety. So, like, they need to learn how to deal with that shit on their own. I'm technically in Gryffindor. Let's talk about that, too. All of the tests I've taken have told me Gryffindor. I thought Ravenclaw for a little bit, because I was really, like, consuming information. But we can talk about our houses. If you want to figure out the rest of your chart, whoever just said that, Hannah, go on astrocharts.com, put in your birthday, birth time, and where you were born, and it'll give you all the information. My Enneagram's a 2. I do all the personality shit. I want to know all of it. If you want to know your rising sign, you do have to know the time, but you can get the rest of it without a time if you don't have it, or if you don't know it. No, we're all talking about Harry Potter. I did it. If anyone caught my live with Jill and Harper the other day talking about Harry Potter, hopefully we make that a weekly thing. My personality type is ENFP. I seem like so conceited right now. I've done all of it. I've done all the personality type. That's so funny. Scorpio, Sun, Aquarius, Moon, you're probably super creative in living in your own little world up here. Leo rising, you like attention. You want attention for how creative you are. That's my guess. It's very, like, pared down, but I don't know my mom's personality type. She might be a little more introverted than me. But let's talk about my mom, too. I love her. Cancer Sun, Cancer Moon. Oh, honey. You probably cry a lot. But Libra rising might keep that shit in check. The letter thing I think is MTBI, like your MTBI personality. ENFP is, I'm not gonna remember what this stands for. Extroverted. I don't remember what N stands for. I don't remember what feeling. And I don't remember what the P stands for. Can someone tell me? I don't remember. My brother is a Sag, and my sister is a Virgo. INFP. I don't know. See, I've been seeing the what do you think about Libras? I just don't know that much about Libras. I truly don't. I don't really have that many friends that are Libras. I don't know why, but I don't know that much about it. I do know my wand type. I want to keep it secret. My wand type is personal to me. No, excuse me, my grandma's a Leo, but she's a Leo Virgo cusp. My sweater, thank you. I've been wearing it for 3 days. I'm Pisces, my wife's Cancer. I bet you get each other really well emotionally. I would be wary of being passive aggressive toward each other and not communicating how you're actually feeling, and like letting your emotions like run the show and getting in the way of communicating. That can be my biggest issue. My best friend's a Pisces, and that can be like we don't tell each other shit because we're like too sensitive. Any good zodiac Instagram pages? I like Not All Geminis. I think it's really funny. At Not All Geminis. It was fun. Rising sign is supposed to be the sign that you put out like into the world, like the sign, like kind of the mask you put on, not a mask, but like how people perceive you. That's what I'm looking for. My favorite song at the moment is probably anything by Leanne La Havas. Yeah, Paper Thin, Leanne La Havas. Did you have any issues with Gemini abandoning shared stuff and project? That's so funny. I'm literally having that issue right now with a Gemini. Tell me why. Tell me why. That's so frustrating. Gemini bailing on me, girl. My MTBI is ENFP. Sun is Aries, moon is Gemini, rising is Aries. Girl, that's exciting. You sound like a big personality. That's super interesting. All of them are interesting. Right. See, yeah, that's my experience with Geminis too. It takes me a lot of time and understanding to get how they work, you know, and get like how they move in the world. The Capricorns I know are all very hardworking. To a fault sometimes. My Venus sign is Cancer. I have 2 dogs that are the lights of my life. I have a little feral cat that lives on my roof because he doesn't like coming inside. What are you most proud of? I recently got an award, which is crazy in and of itself, but I got an award for being a mental health advocate of 2020, and I got it from the National Alliance of Mental Illness, which was like super amazing and so incredibly like left field. I was not expecting that. It was like me and Ron Artest from the Lakers, which was like fucking crazy. But that's something that I feel like is going to be so crazy to look back on, and something that I'm really proud of, because just like, you know, in a decade or 2 decades or whatever, like looking back and being like, wow, 2020 was a crazy fucking year, and like I got an award for being a mental health advocate in the year of 2020. Like that's something that I'm really proud of, and something like I had to work really hard, you know, to keep myself sane. You know, but it's hard. It's you have to take care of your own mental health in order to be a mental health advocate. You know what I mean? And taking care of your own mental health is a job in and of itself. So I feel proud of myself for doing that. Thank you guys. You're all so nice to me. Thank you. Yes, I am a person that helps others so much that I lose myself sometimes. That's something I'm learning. Is how to say no. That's also the Enneagram thing, number 2. That's totally what I am. On Sagittarius. All the Sagittarius people I know are okay, we're fine. Sagittarius are super, super extroverted and outgoing typically, but also very adventurous, like super like wacko, like dancing all the time, singing all the time. Like those are the Sagittarians I know. Who chose the artist to honor AIC? Alice chose some, my mom chose some, I chose some, Jason chose some. Everyone. It was a collaborative effort. My next guest for Mind Wide Open is I'm doing part 2 of The Kids Are All Right. So it's a new group of friends. And I'm super excited about it. Which sign is most likely to wear a tight-ass high ponytail? That's funny. Virgo. I think Virgo. This is fun. I like questions like that. Ask me more questions like that. How long did it take you to get so good at controlling your range and pitch? Thank you for saying that, because I don't feel like I am. But I've never had vocal lessons or anything like that. But I think I need them, because my throat gets sore really easily. So I don't feel like I'm using the right placement. You guys are so sweet. I'm studying media studies and psychology. Joe from you is a Cancer. Gemini rising. Get to be in what, Juno? Hot take. I don't even remember what I just said. Did I have a hot take? Or what? What sign is most likely to wear winged eyeliner? Leo. Yeah. Leo or Scorpio, maybe. Oh, dude. Next one, girl. I don't say no to people without feeling guilty. Judo, I recorded this one, like, a long time ago. But next one, You guys are number one. How do you like studying media studies? I love it. I love media studies. I'm on the film track right now, and like psychology as well as my minor. And it's so fascinating. Like, I love school. I absolutely love school. Okay, here we go. Most likely to dye their hair multiple times. Aquarius, because they're super creative and indecisive as fuck. I love oceans. I love the water. The water is like the most calming thing for me. Over this, I like the summer better because literally, like, when I have anxiety or when I'm dissociating, I put myself in Lake Washington or Lake Union. I put myself in a body of water, and it helps so much. What sign most likely to buy them dinner? Probably Cancer, because we will just give and give and give until we have nothing left. Most likely to be into vintage. Maybe Pisces, because they have kind of an individuality complex. Most likely to be into witchcraft, Scorpio. Experiences with Aquarians. I already talked about my ex-boyfriend, Aquarius, and it was horrible. Which sign is most seductive and flirty? Libra is pretty flirty. Scorpio's very seductive. My least favorite sign, I don't know. I like people from all signs. I think me and Aquarius people have the least amount in common. As a Cancer, do you end up feeling bad or guilty for standing up for yourself? Always. Setting boundaries. So hard. Setting boundaries is, I believe, like, that's the lesson that I'm learned. The lesson that I was put on this earth to learn. Yes, I'm super sentimental. I get stuck in the past all the time. What got you into astrology? My grandma is an astrologist and a numerologist. And that got me into it. I've learned about it my whole life. Unhealed Aquarius are horrible. Thank you. Someone fucking gets it. Virgos are sluts. In my experience. Okay. That's actually, wow. Whoa, now that you say that. Okay, the way that I'm listing Virgos in my mind, they're all sluts. That's fucking hilarious. That's fucking hilarious. Oh my god. Wait, that's crazy. You just blew my mind with that. That was funny. Something about Taurus. I'm a Taurus moon, and I think it makes for balance, like, between left brain, right brain. But it also makes for, like, being very stuck in your ways. Like, it's hard to change your patterns and change your habits. Taurus love luxury. That's good to know. Also very sleepy, very lazy. The ocean are really blue. I've never been in an ocean. Aw. Can you describe a color? It depends on where you are. The ocean in Seattle's not very blue. It's pretty gray. Not gray. That's a bad. It's like dark. It's a darker color. But the ocean in, like, more tropical places is light blue. It depends on where you are. I think earth and water signs in my chart balance more than anything, because earth signs keep you more grounded and water's more, like, emotional and kind of, like, sensitive. So I think it goes together well. Capricorn's most likely to play the ukulele. Ha 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 ha. Do you get it? Tell me if you get it. I think Gordon Ramsay's an Aries. It's my basic guess. I believe that you're an Aquarius and you're probably, like, amazing and super cool. I just have, like, we butt heads. I have one I think my Pluto's in Sag. That's my one fire sign placement. I wish I had more. Someone got it. Haha. Oh, Virgo. That's super true. Gordon Ramsay would be a Virgo with like an Aries Mars or Scorpio Mars or something. I'm very extroverted. Wow, how do you make a Cancer forgive you? They don't. They'll forgive. That's the thing, is they'll forgive, but they will never forget. You can never, if you do the same shit twice, it's over. You can't do the same shit twice. You have to show them with your actions that you won't do it again, and not just your words. I'm in for the live about the sluttiest signs. You'll meet a creative Aquarius one day who are healed and take you on a crazy ride. One of my best friends in the world is a super creative, super, super interesting Aquarius. So I totally believe that. Just emotionally, we don't always we're not on the same page, but it's not a bad thing. You don't have to get along with everybody all this fucking time. Yeah, that's the thing. See, Cancer's forgiving but never forgetting. And you might think you've forgotten, but if it seems like it's gonna happen again, I'm out. I'm out, girl. It's oh my god, it's 2:03 in the morning. Fuck. Oh my god. Scorpio men can sometimes be scary if they're unevolved. They can be very manipulative and draw you into their energy and just suffocate you. Mom's gonna be so mad at me. It's 2 in the fucking morning. Jeff Buckley was a Scorpio. That makes sense. They feel very, very deeply. And that can be kind of dark. I have a very hard time cutting off toxic people, personally. Callan. I didn't even think about that. Callan has left the chat. Sorry. Of course, fucking Jeff Buckley was a Scorpio. Juno, that's so funny. Of course. Damn, you just called me out. My eyes do look hella tired. It's also the shadow, because the light's right above me. So they're not, actually that... Do you see what I mean? They're not actually that dark. This is normal. This isn't good. This is... Oh, no, I do have bags. I was about to be see? I don't have any bags under my eyes. Fucking look at me. Ah... Man, I'm fucking tired. Now that you said it. I think that's fine. If you're Cancer and your partner's a Sag, has water in your chart, it only what am I fucking talking about? Sun signs are the only thing that matter. Good night, sweet prince. Good night, Juno. I love you. I watch The Office all the time. I watch The Office to go to bed every night. I try to meditate as much as possible, but like with my anxiety, sometimes it makes me more anxious because it's harder to just be in my head. But I like to do guided meditations like with somebody talking in the background because that makes it easier for me to sit still for that long. Damn, everyone's just telling me like, you look tired, you're zoning out. I'm 20. You can do what I want. I've seen episode 1 of Mandalorian. I'm excited to watch the rest of it. I don't do well with caffeine. I do horribly with caffeine, to be quite frank. Thank you. I am an adult. Peaky fucking blinders. I'm 5'7", almost 5'8". Everyone's just naming TV shows. No, they're not even asking questions anymore. I like this. I don't even need to say anything. I'll just sit here and you guys can talk about self-help. I really like that. Impractical Jokers I watch a lot on the plane because they always have it on the plane and it makes me laugh. It's really fun. Parks and Rec. It's just like, let's yell TV shows. Let's just yell them. I am taller than Ed. Don't tell him I said that. Reason for my name. My mom was pregnant and in Hawaii, and she said she was getting her nails done, I think. She said she heard a voice in her head that was like, I'm Lily, and she thinks it was me telling her that that's my name. And then what did she do? She went and named me Lillian. That's not what I said. But no one calls me that, except my grandpa. Because I feel like I'm much more of a Lily. But she named me Lillian because she was like, oh, if you ever end up... This was her exact thought process. If you ever end up in the UN, you might want to be named Lillian. So she has big goals for me, baby. But my name's Lillian just in case I ever end up in the UN. She wanted me to have that option, which I appreciate. She's always thinking ahead. My middle name is Jean. Lily Jean. A lot of people have pets named Lily. I don't mind it. Coincidences are a myth, my friend. I know it sounds like Billie Jean. Everyone's gonna say that shit. Michael Jackson. I'm not Billie Jean. Oh my god. Why is now everyone's gonna say it? My Dobby is Lily Bean.
Can music like Alice in Chains make someone depressed? I don't think so. Depression is a clinical issue. I don't think music can make you depressed. It can sure make you sad. Yeah, how many people yawned when I yawned? That's funny. I didn't even think about that. People call me Lil. It's my nickname. People call me Lily Monster, Lily Bean, Lily Monster, typically. My mom's 5'7", if that helps. Yeah, music hits everyone differently. Good luck with class. I hope I didn't miss you. I don't know why Monster. You know what? I actually do know why Monster. My uncles started calling me Lily Monster when I was 2 years old because we were trick-or-treating and we went down like 3 blocks and I just sat down in the middle of the road and I was like, I'm done. I wasn't crying. I wasn't throwing a fit. I was like, oh, I'm done. I'm done. And one of my uncles had to carry me around for the rest of the night until they called me Lily Monster, and they still call me that. I respect it. I respect myself for setting that boundary. I do like Nick Drake. Yeah, okay, I'm done. I'm so sorry. I'm fucking fading so hard right now. I'm so tired. So, blessings. Thank you to everyone who's watching. Thank you to everyone who said nice things about Mind Wide Open. I so hope that it's helpful to you in some way. Thank you to everyone who said nice things about the show last night. It was super fun. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for talking with me about astrology. That was like a super solid convo. Thanks for sharing things with each other in the chat. Like, that was super nice. I really like that. I like cultivating a good community environment where we can talk about mental health. Safe space, people. Yeah. Peace and love.